Hello to everyone. I am Dr. N. Sirisha, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of EEE in Aditya University. So today we are going to learn about DC generators and motors. Right. So what are the concepts here? Concept of DC generators, construction, principle and working. Similarly, DC motors, construction, principle and working. Right. So when coming to the DC generators, basically a generator is an equipment in which mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So input we are giving mechanical energy to generator, it converts to electrical energy, and the working principle is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, right. So principle of operation of single loop DC generator. So for the sake of understanding, we are taking simple loop, single two turn coil ABCD is taken, and how EMF is induced in the conductors, that is the principle of DC generator. Here we are having two magnets, north pole and south pole of a magnet, and a rectangular coil ABCD is placed in the vicinity of the magnetic field. So here ABCD is a rectangular coil which is placed in the magnetic field. So when this coil is moved in the magnetic field, EMF is generated in the conductors, and the EMF induced is of the form sinusoidal waveform. What is the basic principle of this DC generator? What is the magnitude of EMF that is generated? It depends on the strength of the magnetic field, and also at which the angle at which the conductor cuts the magnetic field, the speed at which the coil is rotating, and also the length of the conductor within the magnetic field. Right. Here, see, the ABCD is a rectangular loop coil which is taken and it is placed in the magnetic field. See the lines of force here. These are the magnetic lines of force from north pole to the south pole. See the position of the rectangular coil here. When the coil is placed in this position, the magnetic flux is parallel to the rectangular coil. So, here no EMF will be induced in the conductor. Here, when the coil position is placed in this way, A, B and CD, all the magnetic flux is parallel to the rectangular coil. So, this rectangular coil doesn't cut the magnetic flux. Therefore, EMF induced will be 0 at this instant. Now, this ABCD rectangular coil is moved in the anti-clockwise direction for 90 degrees slowly by making an angle from 0 to 90 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction. See, when the coil is rotated from 0 degrees to 90 degrees, see the magnitude of the EMF induced. This is the magnitude of EMF induced from 0 to 90 degrees. Here at 90 degrees, maximum flux is cut by the armature conductors. This rectangular coil cuts the maximum flux at 90 degrees. Therefore, at 90 degrees, maximum EMF is induced. Since the circuit is closed with slip rings and brushes, the current flows through the conductor. The current flows through the resistance. Similarly, this rectangular coil is moved for one more 90 degrees slowly. Right. At 180 degrees, the EMF induced will be 0. This is 180 degrees. From 0 to 180 degrees, the coil is moved and the coil turns are reversed here. So, CD is on the top and AB is on at the bottom. At 180 degrees, EMF induced is 0. Since all the magnetic flux passes through the rectangular coil and it is parallel to the rectangular coil. Here at this instant, no EMF will be induced. Next position, again when the coil is still reversed at 270 degrees, maximum EMF will be induced since the flux cut by the conductors is maximum at 270 degrees. At 270 degrees, EMF induced is maximum. Still 90 degrees, this rectangular coil is rotated. At this instant, again the coil comes to the initial position. So, this is 360 degrees, this is 0 degrees. When the coil is moved to 360 degrees, again the coil comes to the same initial position AB and CD. Right. Here the EMF induced will be 0 since all the flux passing through the rectangular coil and it is parallel to the rectangular coil, and the rectangular coil does not cut the magnetic flux. This is how EMF is induced in the single loop generator, and the EMF induced varies, and it also depends on the angle at which it is placed in the magnetic field, and it also depends on the speed of the rectangular coil, with which speed the rectangular coil is rotated, right. So this is the explanation of how the EMF is induced as different positions, position 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So the cycle repeats continuously as long as the coil is moved in the magnetic field. And the generation of sinusoidal voltage, how the EMF is induced in the rectangular coil. Next, in this DC generator, EMF induced is of the AC type. So this AC is converted into DC with the help of the commutator. This commutator converts the AC generated EMF AC generated to the DC inside the DC generators. So how this commutator works and how the commutator is constructed. See, this is the structure of the commutator. This converts AC to DC in the terminals. See, this commutator is constructed with the help of a copper segments, and this copper segments, two segments are separated from each other by mica sheets, and this commutator segments are connected to the armature coil ends. See, this is one segment, this forms the one segment, and this forms the one more segment, and this is the mica sheet which is separated by these two segments, and these forms the brushes from commutator to the brushes. These are the two brushes which are connected to the commutator. This part forms the commutator segments. This commutator segments are connected to the each armature coil ends. How the commutator is working over here. See, here we take for case 1, we are having the two magnets, north and south pole of a magnet, and a rectangular coil ABCD is taken. Here AB is under the vicinity of north pole and CD is under the vicinity of the south pole. And here the commutator segments, C1 is connected to the AB coil and C2 is connected to the CD coil and connected to the load resistance R. And the current is flowing from positive terminal to the negative terminal. Positive terminal is connected to Y and negative terminal is connected to the X. At this instant, when the EMF is generated, current will be flowing from the CD through Y and through X, and the path is closed with AB. So when this is the first position in which coil is rotating. Next, when the rectangular coil is rotated by 180 degrees, what happens here is CD comes under the vicinity of the north pole and AB comes under the vicinity of the south pole. Similarly, here C1 coil will be connected to the Y and C2 coil will be connected to the X. Along with the rotation of the rectangular coil AB and CD, the commutator segments also rotates over here, and C1 will be connected to the Y and C2 will be connected to the X. When the EMF generated is reversed in the rectangular coil, here commutator segments also gets reversed and the supply will be in unidirectional and the current will be flowing from positive terminal through Y, X to the negative terminal. Here the supply will be in the unidirectional with the help of this commutator segments. So this commutator converts AC to DC inside the DC generator. Here, when coming to the constructional details of DC machine, important parts of a DC machine are yoke, rotor, stator, field electromagnets, pole core, pole shoes, brushes, shaft, armature windings, commutator and bearings. Here, in this DC machines, the rotor is nothing but the armature and the stator is the field winding. Field magnets, field windings forms the stator. And the armature core, armature winding forms the rotor, armature winding. In this DC machines, the terminology we use is armature and field. Armature is the rotating part and field is the stationary part. These are the important parts of a DC machine, right? So this is the cross-sectional view of a DC machine. Here the outermost structure forms the yoke of the machine. Here you can see this is the outermost circle forms the yoke. This yoke is nothing but it covers the total machine and it acts as a protection to whole of the machine. So next to the yoke we have field. Here this part forms the pole shoes and this bottom part forms the pole course. Here the field here the field magnets are made up electromagnets. Here electromagnets are used for the field poles. So this electromagnets has pole core and pole shoes. This curved structure forms the pole shoe and this rectangular part forms the pole core. On the pole core, windings are wound on the pole core. So once windings are wound on the pole core and excitation is given with the help of the windings which are wound on the pole core. So field, you have a field magnets are of electromagnets and you have a windings which are wound on the pole core. And the pole shoe is constructed in this way so that whole of the magnetic flux is distributed uniformly in the DC generator. Next to the field we have armature. Armature is constructed in the form of thin laminations with slots and teeth. See, this forms the teeth and these forms the slots. Since this armature is constructed in the form of thin laminations, each lamination is separated by a paper or some insulation and all these laminations are riveted together so that it forms mechanically very strong. Since the armature is rotating part of the machine, it should be mechanically strong. It should be all these thin laminations are joined together, insulated from each other and riveted so that its strength is increased. This armature has slots and teeth. Teeth are the projected part. Here this structure forms the teeth of the machine, teeth of the armature, and see the slots, you have a small circles which are placed inside the slots of the machine. Here in these slots windings are wound in the slots of the DC machine. All the windings are wound in all the slots of the DC machine and these windings are armature conductors. Each armature conductor is connected to the commutator. Next to this armature we have commutator. See, this is the structure of a commutator. This forms the commutator and this commutator has a commutator legs in which all the commutator legs are connected to the armature conductors, and from the commutator we have these forms the brushes. These four brushes are present. This is a two-pole generator. Here two brushes are present in this figure. These forms the brushes. From the brushes to the external circuit, all the armature conductors are connected to the commutator lugs and from the commutator lugs to the brushes. External supply is taken from the brushes to the external circuit. This is the overall construction of a DC machine, right? When coming to the working principle, see, since the DC machine, here you have a field winding. Field winding electromagnets are excited with the help of a DC supply. Since we are giving input energy as a mechanical energy is given as input to the DC generator. Here, once the input mechanical energy is given to the generator, the armature starts rotating. Armature starts rotating. And DC supply is given to the field windings so that magnetic field is produced inside the DC generator. So, field magnets are excited with the DC supply. Once the field magnets are excited, field winding acts as the electromagnets and magnetic flux is formed inside the DC generator. This rotating armature cuts the magnetic flux produced by the electromagnets. Once the armature starts rotating, it cuts the magnetic flux inside the field magnets. So this armature conductors cuts the magnetic flux and EMF is induced in the armature conductors, and this EMF is collected by the commutator, and commutator converts AC to DC. This commutator is used to convert AC to DC, and external supply is taken through the brushes. That is how DC machine EMF is generated in the DC machine. See, these are the yoke, poles, field windings, armature, commutator, brushes. These are the important parts. When coming to the cross-sectional view of this is a cross-sectional view of a DC machine. DC motor and machine construction of both are same, except a commutator is not present in DC motors. See, these forms the shaft of the machine, where the whole of the machine is placed. This is the shaft of the machine, and these are the armature conductors. These armature conductors are connected to the commutator legs. Each and every armature conductor is connected to the commutator legs. This forms the field poles. These are the field poles in which magnetic flux is produced. So from this armature conductors to commutator, this forms the brushes which are placed on the commutator. So the whole of the machine is covered with the yoke of the machine. This yoke covers whole of the machine, and these are the base of the machine, in which you call it as a base or a feet, in which machine is laid. This is the overall cross-sectional view of a DC machine. And this is one more cross-sectional view of a DC machine. Here you can see the conductors, copper conductors. See this red color, brown color conductors are nothing but the armature conductors which are connected to the commutator lugs. Right? These are the ball bearings. These ball bearings are used for the free movement of the machine. So for the free, as the machine continuously rotates, this bearings provides for the free movement of rotation of the machine. Next is the DC motor. So in constructional point of view, DC generator and DC motor, both the construction are same. So when coming to the DC motor principle, here the energy conversions in this DC motor is, here electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy. Here we are giving input electrical energy, and that is converted to mechanical energy in the DC motor. This is the energy conversions, right? So this DC motor principle is based on the Fleming's left hand rule. If you stretch your left hand with your 3 fingers of thumb, forefinger and middle finger, if they are kept at right angles to each other, then the thumb gives the direction of the force on the conductor, and the forefinger gives you the direction of magnetic flux, and this middle finger gives you the direction of current in the motor, right? It is based on the Fleming's left hand rule, and the energy conversions are electrical energy is converted into mechanical energy. Here, for the formation of torque is required in the DC motors. Once the torque is formed, torque is nothing but the rotational movement, right? Once the torque is formed, then the motor starts rotating. Here, for the formation of torque, 2 things are required for the formation of torque. Here, 2 fluxes are required. Once the torque is to be formed, 2 fluxes are needed. Here, 2 fluxes are, one is the armature flux and the other one is the field flux. So how these 2 fluxes are formed here? Here we have electromagnets, north and south pole of electromagnets. Since these electromagnets, DC excitation is given to the electromagnets and magnetic flux is formed from north pole to the south pole of a magnet. Now, since we are giving electrical energy input to the DC motor, once supply is given to the DC motor, current starts flowing through the armature conductors. Once the current starts flowing through the armature conductors, flux is formed surrounding the armature conductors. See, this is the armature flux. These lines, they form the field flux. field flux, and when the current passes through the armature, surrounding the armature conductor, one more flux is formed that we call it as the armature flux. Here what happens is, because of these two fluxes, what happens is force is exerted on the current carrying conductors. Since a force is exerted on the current carrying conductors, then the armature conductors moves forward. Once the armature is in the form of a circular structure, here two fluxes are formed. One is the armature flux and other one is the field flux. See, here because of these two fluxes, a force is exerted on the current carrying conductor and the armature conductor moves forward. Similarly, all these armature conductors moves forward like this, and all these armature conductors moves forward. A rotational movement is produced and torque is formed inside the DC motor, and the motor starts rotating, right? And the magnitude of the force on that current carrying conductor is obtained by F equal to BIL newtons, where B is nothing but the flux density of the field winding, L is the length of the conductor, and I is the current passing through the conductor, and the direction of the force on the conductor is given by the Fleming's left hand rule. That is how motor starts rotating and torque is formed. So this is how showing a left hand, what the three fingers representation for a Fleming's left hand rule. Here one more feature in this DC motor is back EMF is formed in the DC motor. Therefore, it is also known as a self-regulating machine. When the armature winding of a DC motor starts rotating, this motor starts rotating in the magnetic flux produced by the field winding. It cuts the lines of magnetic flux. When the armature starts rotating, this cuts the magnetic flux of the field winding. Then EMF is induced in the armature winding. The EMF that is induced in the armature winding, EMF induced in the armature winding is in a direction opposite to the supply voltage. Therefore, this EMF you call it as a back EMF, and this EMF, because of this EMF, it draws some armature current which is required for the formation of initial torque in the motor. Therefore, it is also known as a self-regulating machine. Right. So, summary is DC generators, principal, construction, working, and also DC motors, principal, construction and working. Thank you.